Go. Intellectual pursuits you've got into with woke. So you don't like liberalism. You don't like Marxism. You want something new. You negate the old. You ever heard transcendentalism? You ever heard of zero? Where were you coming from? I go around. I went to college. I have a post-secondary. It was tough, wasn't it? Well, it was tough in my time, but I've never seen it as tough as now because they made it into not a very nice system. Everything's overthought. And and we talk about narcissism. Well, it creates that. Once you start to become a thinker, I think therefore I am, you become separate. Think about it. I go into coffee shops and these girls are trying to get into these new type of universities. So, what is dementia? What is dementia? You say us old people have dementia. Some of us do. I have to adapt my thinking on short-term memory to hook to something, right? But I got long-term, so it's a useful tool. But I go into coffee shops. I went to post-secondary. They made it harder for you. Scholastics to get into these schools. And then you got Jorgen Peterson there rewriting a language, and you can't get the buzz. You're not creating a freedom, you're creating a prison every time you overthink. You know, you get into your university and wow, I'm bigger. Not better. But you're not. Henry David Thoreau was forgotten about. Walt Whitman. And Zen is zero. The power now is not the mind. The power now is the heart. That's your new revolution of freedom. This is the trap. This is the heart. I'm done. Boy's old. You're young. You're old souls. You got into the trap. And when you get into intellectuality, you negate the heart. So transcendentalism. You don't have to be better than anybody. You have to be what's in here. Thinking. I think therefore I am. Oh, wow. You're sort of stuck in old fabrics of old information. Really. Marxism. I was studying Marx. Communism. Stalinism. Oh, God. We went through all that, man. And we got sick of the words. Groovy. And then we went to hassle. And then we went to another generation went up to awesome. New languages. To rebel makes the rebel. So we wandered through all this. He quit university at Toronto. He hated it. He said, hey man, this is a just came very egoic. We were very humble, spiritual young men. So we explored Karl Marx. He was exploring Hitler, Von Kahl. And I got thinking, that's pretty dark, because my father was a military, and he didn't like Hitler, because they want to hate the Jews and everything. So it's opposites, always. And you're trying to talk about a repression, and it's liberalism. I came from old liberal that was maybe you didn't like it. And some people didn't. They were counterculture. Pierre Elliott Trudeau was a good prime minister. But then I was maybe my dad by my father. Maybe. But he was a man that I admired because he was a federalist that could unify a country. And he was a good prime minister. And a lot of this was taken. Pierre Elliott Trudeau made a few mistakes. First Nations need the power to self-govern, okay? And there's a lot of negate doctors. Dr. Carl Jung, I studied him and read a book, and I don't see what Jordan Peterson sees. Analytical philosophy, psychology was what in psychology was breaking away from. But maybe it went too far. Every revolution we take big step. Negate. You're always negating too. No flack. It's a new idea now. Because you got pornography. You know, there's nothing perfect. There's nothing. If you get, the arguments are so dualistic. Philosophy would argue psychology. They don't work together. They just don't sync. So what is it? Camps. Religious camps. Ideology is the problem. Every ideology. So how do we transcend the dualistics? Because you got into another camp and you're a dualist. You don't even like that word. I don't like any words. In the beginning was the word. So what did the spiritual people speak in? Sutras? Jesus spoke in parables. There's a lot of spirituality that tried to avoid language because it was coming back into this box. So you're explaining woke as a new form of language. It's overthinking. And I know you don't feel free. Why? The examination of why you don't feel free. Thought block. Still in the thought box. And he listen to the psychology. Meaning. You gotta make meaning to feel safe. So you're in fear. You're still in the fear. You're following gurus all over the place. And what is this? Thought. Do I have compassion for it? Yeah, I do. I'd say you're the lost generation that needs to find its way. But you won't find it by thinking. Your generation will not find it by thinking. So Thoreau simplified. shoving education up your dooster. You know that. You carry tons of books. My buddy, his daughter, oh God, she's gonna get backing, man. Oh, she's gonna carry a computer and stuff, and books, and books, and books. I was shoved textbooks too. And I read them, and I would still read. But I try to quiet the mind and slow it down. You know, if anything grew out of anything, it was the 70s when we were trying to come up with a language that would work with computers. So now that a neuro-linguistic language to look at a story. And you look at Neil Young and I hear comments on it. He's a storyteller. What's your story? You've lived so long, right? You have a story in that little name end of your life so far. Life is a story. It's not analyzing. It's not negation of the past of where you started. You know, I meet a lot of young people that got drug problems. I'm not putting you down. Because you're the new generation. I'm giving you over the baton. But a little bit of wisdom. Overthinking. And these education systems are being rammed up here right now. A lot of information to keep this system, this volume part going. So you're trying to get into things, and you're going to extreme rights to negate the liberalism. Sorry, maybe it's got problems. We're trying to figure it out. It's not surrender to consciousness. Consciousness is negated when you think all the time. So woke means past and wake, but you still got a new language there. That's ridiculous. You're getting into camps of hydrodynamics to prove that retention of semen is something good. Everything is so spelled out perfect because you're conditioning. Welcome to conditioning. Education is being a conditioned form of control of thought to keep this global capitalism that's killing our planet going, killing you, and thinking of it. So you are your prisoner of your own device. And it's created narcissism. Oh yeah, man. You ever get into university and the professor's talking some rubbish like years ago? And wow, we're really going somewhere. You're talking about friggin' lobsters. How stupid can you be? How stupid. You know, I'll tell you about relationships. There's nothing wrong with marriage as an institution. It's changed. We've started to come into our own and realize that marriage is not control. Your girlfriend or your wife needs her love. Okay? It's got a foundation. Everything has always had a foundation. Let's be fair about your girlfriend or your wife. I tell you, don't hold the reins. Let her too tight. She's a woman. She's got goals in life. She's like anyone. That's the time of Eve and Adam. It's still here. You can't negate that. gotta come and find a way in between. You gotta be strong and create a sacred balance in a marriage. And it's the foundation of giving her space. Giving her space. The circle principle. This is how liberalism, you could say. You could say this is about relationships. Not forcing people to do anything they don't want. But she needs nurture. She's your nurturer and teacher. And humility will teach you that your girlfriend is an important element. Why is relationships not working? Attitude, man. This is crazy. Attitude. Don't give me attitude. It's a negation to your thought form. Boomer. You don't even know anything about Boomer because they were deleting the archives in CDC with the woke vocals. Listen to this idiot here, Doug Ford. He says, I'm going to give you housing. Now the Auditor General. I mean, everything is freaking stupid. The far right are out of control. Now, I'm going back to Alberta because I'm in the business of horses. And I'm thinking of a great man. Maybe I'm not going to get into arguments about politics. I'm going to negate platforms. It's liberal, it's conservative out there, and it's extremely right. But they do work for a living. They get jobs. And they're working, they eat bread. Oh yeah. Because they got away from that bunch of stupidity called negating bread because of gluten. You never read the articles. So I read the article in the New Yorker about gluten-free. Yeah. There was the celiac disease. But there was no synopsis. I had read it in what was that? Reading, I put it for an audio reader. And I listened to it. It's a long article. But there's no synopsis. So I had to come to the synopsis part. You want a synopsis of this? Gluten was made in bread travels distance, right? Well, gluten is binder in bread. Simple. Well, they add more gluten to it to bind it harder because it's shelf life. So we negate it and we go right into homemade bread. Oh, we don't want that. So I bake bread. I think baking bread won't hurt you. It's just they added too much gluten. But there's no synopsis to it. Synopsis is a word of reading long, slow reads on economic models that are coming out now that aren't not liberal and they ain't conservative. They're not capitalist. But they're long reads and they're a new model of maybe some of this transcendentalism. Some of it. I like the transcendental model. And weighing getting right back to the grassroots of the local currency. Eisenberg's Indigrove. That's going back to grassroots. Grassroots, another terminology. We changed words to everything because we didn't like the hippie enough of, commune, man. We didn't like that. Because they got into cults. So we call it intentional living. And we don't call Transcendentalism was the early camp of simplification. Poetry. Rumi. Rumi. That's Sufism. Everything is all this transcendentalism, the ancient cultures. Japanese. Chinese. Simplify it and break it down to zero. Consciousness. In the space of an interval and a piano. That's why I'd rather study the language of music. I'd rather study music. And that's what I'm getting into. I've studied a lot of things in my life. I know at times my mind doesn't have short-term memory. I have to have a hook. That's the way our mind thinks. But the choice of words is what? We at one time in the Reiki system could never show the symbols. But they're everywhere. What's that? What is that symbol? It's made up of sutras in the Japanese text. The first one is Han. Sha. So, Zen. Na. Hanshastroben. My cousin was an astrophysicist. He had this theory of bridging time and space in a non-linear concept. That's what that is. It's your distance, level 2 Reiki system of holy fire. So the lineage of the original masters. And it's been used since to turn on energy. No, it's dimensional psychic school. And then we got into quantum reality, quantum thought, quantum healing. Where does that come to? Zero. No thought. So we can get beyond the materialism as a healer and allow the energy to flow. So there's a lot of thoughts about Reiki and its arrogant spiritualism. We're just caught in the age of thinkers. And it causes this dualism every time. You've created a dualism in your world. Always changing words and thought to have your own school. Revolutions. And you think and see everything different than me. Because I come from a different time. I come from the same year as Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs is dead. Am I a boomer? The boomer revolution was Steve Jobs in the 1970s, right? I remember designing computers that were, I still say the Mac computer is superior. My girlfriend is 32 years old. Where's she different? Her father, in Pennsylvania, said, stay away from negative people. So she negated society. But she kept on learning. She went to university and studied computer science. But she's very open-minded. There's a feminine energy on this planet. And it's young women to get away from all the noise and get into the crafts and the arts and really wanting the aesthetic pleasures of life, like music. I'm a musician. I really don't give a crap about thought all the time. I study musical theory. It's constructs of how to write music. When I approach the instrument, I approach zero mind, beginner mind, all the time, because I don't want to think about it. So there I came to the stillness of mindfulness. The problem with the world is it needs mindful consciousness and slow thought. You're always thinking, and it's just the program that you kept running for a long time. Jane Jacobs wrote about this. She said, schools of education now are accolades, printed documents, universities. When she was going through she was a writer and a journalist. And what is journalism? Truthful information, which is facts. So she worked with facts. Jane Jacobs, she wrote The Life and Death of American Cities, and she sort of opposed Robert Moses' model of developing urban space. And she was a good thinker. Some of these older women are very intelligent. Rachel Carson explained Silent Spring. And she was a journalist. That's all she was. Steve Jobs, what was he? Didn't have a college education, but he had a mind. And he was tethering up his thought forms from what his father taught him. He wasn't getting attached to it. His father was a cabinet maker. And he took the foundations of what his dad taught him. Build the cabinets. Don't make them clean in the inside. Well, nobody will see it, Dad. Doesn't matter. That's a craftsman. So he took that concept and he realized the schematics of those computers and the Apple computer. He could lay them out very well. And he kept it right into the iPod, the iPhone, and kept on going. So when he fell from grace, like most people did, he designed the Macintosh. While he was designing it, he took on something else. Calligraphy. He created the type fonts on your computers. So where is always going from and nothing? Because you fall and you come back again. You know, horsemanship is falling and getting up again. Marianne Williamson wrote a book that I really think you should read if you're getting ahead in development. It's called Divine Compensation. And she fell. She said, "Oh, Dad, I lost $35,000. I lost it." So, start again. Begin again. There's always going to be some sort of non-perfection. Begin again. She's older than me, but she's beautiful. She's beautiful. The only thing an older woman cannot produce children. But I'm not saying a young woman is better or worse. I'm meeting a lot of very intelligent young women that are not listening to all this ideology and getting out of those spaces and getting into arts and music and not thinking. but they have education and intelligence, and they can discern computer technology that is inferior. And she says, I think it's a low grade, medium computer, PC. I really do too. And I've talked to a lot of young guys. I'd rather use a Mac. And I agree. Mac could with the M2 processor. It's good for what I do. Yeah, but I'll tell you something. I was in analog photography. So I'm going back in my sound files and everything. I'm getting back to electroharmonic pedals, modulations. He's my age. He's got long hair. He's a composer. He lives in Arizona. He's with Linda Colano. That's Steve Rock, her husband. I just won a Grammy Award but he went back to analog modular synthesizers. Got long hair, he looks like a kid. But he's composing music. Analog. Not digital. I don't know. He just likes the analog. So the analog computers of the 70s and 60s were massive. But we came out with the Moog and the mini Moogs and those keyboards and their modular systems. We take sound files with that stuff, digitize it. But he wanted to go to analog modular systems. The synthesizer was Moog, and it was just to take a sound wave instead of a pitch from an instrument and make a sound and modulate it. And it was an amazing piece of instrumentation. And it had a lot of capacity to come up with new sounds, new textures. And then we got into sampling. Yeah, sampling. Take a note, take a sound like a toaster. Anything that has a pitch or a frequency to a tone. That's sampling. And we still do that. Samplers. Synthesized music, electronic music, is digital and it's trapped. I don't hear any progression. They used to be called what was that? Classical music was on synths, Bach. It was just different. But who was it? There's a German group, Kraftwerk. It was using modular synths. I got their records. Listen to them. Kraftwerk. German synthesizers. German electronic music. Huh. Revolutionary. Progressive. Kraftwerk. What I like in the Canadian music field in the younger people, you're going back to foundations of the band. Yeah. You like Dylan? I do too. Foundation. But where is it founded on? Arlo Guthrie? Willie Guthrie. Protest music. Rebellion. This isn't Steve Earle talking about Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan was sort of like Woody Guthrie, protester. But he got into the heart writing, and his music didn't get popular. Steve Earle said back in Greenwich Village, he started writing things from the heart, the more esoteric depth. And they're popular songs now. And I love that one song. What is it? I played it last night. Sweet Marie. Where are you tonight, my sweet Marie? And George Harrison played it at Bob Fest. It was rocking, man. It was rocking. It was a great song. Where are you tonight, my sweet Mary? And these guys are getting into, do you listen to which guitar is freaking better? So he gets in on a tally. He gets in on anything that's gonna, the template, so that instrument's gonna come up over everything else. You know, it's all variances of tone, tonality. The Tool Man. What the hell are you getting into? I went on YouTube, Facebook. I got off it. Every musical group. I've been playing guitar since 1965. I play fingerstyle. I play acoustic. I play Celtic. I play rock. I play blues. I play telly picking. I play whatever I can learn. I learn as much as I can. And I don't negate. The Buddha negated to get into consciousness. He thought the world was overwhelming, like a Marfama. He negated so much, just like you're negating your sexual needs with a not an understanding where you are. You got a hormonal function as a man, and you're getting into negation of lack. There's no rights. This is going to scare you. There's nothing to negate. It's to find yourself. And you're just following ideas and ideologies. And you're in trouble. And I say, right now, quit thinking so much. Slow down. Don't walk too fast. Try to make the morning last. Feeling grippy. Old, eh? The revolution of Zen. You know, we always got these concepts and we're stuck in ideas. He's a young guy out in Alberta. I said, what's work now? Dog eat dog. That's what the program says. See, you're in the program. You know, little grandmother is the fair one of the light workers on earth. Bringing in this consciousness. The heartbeat of earth is the crystalline energy. Water is a crystalline energy that transmits information. The ancients used crystals. The Atlanteans, oh yeah, you run down Edgar Cayce, he was right. You know, and little grandmother was very beautiful. She's the fair one that came in. And I think you should listen to her. She's talking about the new world, the golden age will be love, higher vibrations, higher frequencies. And it'll be the ecstatic Renaissance men that are coming in, that are soft and kind, not thinkers. But they have to have a grounding if they have a feminine energy. Do you have to be transgender? I guess you got to be because you don't want a woman in your life. So if you want a woman in your life, let that energy come in, your twin flame relationship. And a woman loves a man that gives her space, the circle, so she can become a better woman, the new age woman. Is it liberation? Do we call it that? With this circle of Teal Swan is right. She's for women in this age. The fourth wave of feminism will not negate the masculine. It requires the masculine energy to come in, but thought will drive you away from your heart. Ramdas. And it drives you into duality. Always remember dualisms, oppositions, thought forms, communism, liberalism. Now you're getting into woke, and it's just taking you back to extreme rightisms. It's getting crazy. You see, you go round and around we go. Round and round the roulette wheel of life. We want certainty. There's nothing certain of a roulette wheel. There's nothing certain with Russian roulette. Here's a bullet. Guns in the chamber. Spin it. Take a shot. Bang. You ever seen that scene? He says, he takes the gun and he says, I want her to take her clothes off. She won't. Spin the barrel. Pop. She's not doing it. Spin the barrel. Pop. She's dead. That's really the roulette wheel of life of disrespecting a young woman because you want your sexual ways over her using thought forms of roulette. You just killed a life with a game called Russian roulette. And you're spinning the barrel on your life all the time, thinking and going to these universities. They're shit now. Yeah, I'll call you shit. It's not good education. That's overthinking. Think about it. Communism, capitalism, Marxism. And you're trying to find freedom. But you have the freedom. That's the illusion there. You are thinking all the time how to find freedom, but you just lost it. Am I against transgender? No, because that's a stuckness. Am I gay? No. I'm masculine, but I want to be softer. So, how do I attain that without being anything? Zero. Jim Carrey is a good example of this. He's about younger than me, but he's right. Am I the Jim Carrey? Am I the actor? Am I the pet detective? Who am I? Inside Mark, inside Mark, I can't pronounce it, but it goes inside himself. He goes up to the 12th and a half floor. The 13th floor, it was one of those thought forms. Bad luck, right? Because it was from the ancient Knights Templar. Lucky for some, unlucky for others. So this floor, they're bending over. It's only half a floor. Mark. So he goes in there and he says, look at this. We can go through this tunnel that goes into John Markovich. And they get in there and John Markovich finds it. And he walks on that. He pulls the cabinet out. He goes in. And it's John Markovich. Inside of John Markovich. Inside of John Markovich. He's looking around. All these are John Markovich inside each other. Whoa, that's the trip, man. And that's the trick. You're inside yourself all the time, going over and over and over thought forms. Jim Carrey was coming out with some great films. Watch them. I know some guys were going through depression, and they say, "Hey, man, I don't like Jim Carrey. He's so extreme." Well, the extremity was to get away from all these thoughts. He's a comedy. My girlfriend's getting into comedy because she loves the extremisms of taking things beyond the limit. She was born in 1990. Now, I don't think that's wrong because I'm a spiritualist and I think she's an old soul. And she was one that negated going out and getting social because Dad said, "There's good people." He was trying to mold a philosophy of how to make Pennsylvania a better state. He was a thinker. He was a traditionalist of some forms of mining and everything. But she got into arts, an extension of the artistic mind. You know, and I listened to Alan Michaels. I want to learn at Berkeley. I really want to learn. I love online education. And that's where, after college, I built my life. Reading books, online education. Because I had a father that was always running me down. It might make the boy better because he's World War I vet and life was tough. I'll make his life tough. And it kept me humble, but I was never feeling strong about myself. But my my cousin, he lived alone. He kept on studying. He became a professor in astrophysics for NASA at UCLA. He had to leave Canada because of conservatism. It's a great Canadian brain drain of conservative names. Pierre Diefenbaker had some ideas that we're just trying to fight Gorbachev and find safety again. So they destroyed the Aero project. They destroyed everything for safety. So here we are. The psychologist says we gotta make new knowledge to be safe. To be safe. Boy, oh boy, I'll tell you. There's no safety zone except within yourself. You never know how long you got. Anything can happen. But you're trying to make safety and meaning out of everything. I like when they came out with Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe. It's a comedy and it's science fiction. But there's some factors there that you should examine. It became a video game. Yeah, I used to play it because they wanted to put a cosplay group and they wiped out planet Earth. So you could get through there. But the Hitchhiker's Guide, I want the meaning of everything. Meaningless again. So he finds this monolith. It's a massive, universal, conscious computer. He says, "What's that all mean? I want the meaning." And it tells him to come back and buy it. Comes back, and it's constantly figuring it out. The answer, what is it? One. What? Once when he heard one, oh no, I want something more. in the 70s, a book that was read a lot because we were sort of counterculture to all this capitalism. Because we had Richard Dixon, and we really didn't think that we all burned this book, man. And, yeah, Joni Mitchell, all that stuff is all based on this revolution, feminism, the counterculture. But was I a part of it? I was following it. I was only 12 years old when Yorkville was there. I went down there and I saw hippies. I remember the history. I was 12 years old, but I wasn't part of it, man. So what am I part of? Telling you to get out of your friggin' heads and quit getting into all these camps because you're being programmed. Okay? Programmed. Good day. I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm having incontinence because I'm releasing a lot of